If you've worked hard all your life to become more financially secure, and you have tried to provide for yourself and your loved ones in an honest way, working hard and playing by the rules, it can be frustrating to think that the cost of long-term senior care, either in an assisted living facility or in a long-term care facility like a nursing home, could cost you everything you have saved. Hi, I'm attorney Michael Potter, and I work with seniors to help them qualify for benefits they have already earned and to show them how to do it in a way that will qualify them without becoming impoverished or impoverishing their kids in achieving dignified senior care. Now, the reality of it is that a significant number of people over the age of 65 are going to spend anywhere from a year to 5 years on average in a nursing home, and that can be very expensive. Now, whether you are single or married, there are guidelines to be followed with respect to qualifying for Medicaid. And we're going to take a look at how each of these can affect you. Now, it's worth mentioning right up front that timing can be crucial. It's been said that timing is the difference between a hero and a fool. And when it comes to planning for something like long-term care, you want to get ahead of it and make time work in your favor. Of course, the farther in advance of the need for nursing home care that this is done, the better off you are, because advanced planning gives you far more options and choices that you can still have, whereas crisis planning severely limits the choices. You know, whenever my firm looks at working with a family having a senior over the age of 65, we want to gather some facts that will help us ascertain the best strategies to maximize dignified senior care without going broke. For example, if the senior is either a veteran or the widow of a veteran, there are certain benefits we can get for them that are tax-free and would allow them to provide for a caregiver or assisted living facility that allows them to enjoy their senior years to the maximum degree possible. On the other hand, if we're dealing with a senior in a family that is not a veteran or is not the widow of a veteran, then we have some other options we can choose from, including the use of certain types of trusts, Medicaid compliant annuities, and certain expenditures that will allow for qualification under Medicaid. Now, there are certain things that you can do in the area of pre-need planning so that you can spend down funds in such a fashion that still qualifies you for Medicaid. As an example, you can buy a burial plot. You can enter into a funeral contract prior to the need and spend money on that. Those are both perfectly acceptable. You can also make improvements to the home that make the home more comfortable, such as ramps for wheelchair accessibility, a need for a specially equipped van that you might need, especially with a wheelchair. Maybe the doors need to be widened in your home. Maybe the bathrooms need to be specially fitted. These are things that are perfectly acceptable for you to spend money on that will not hurt you when it comes to planning for Medicaid eligibility. You can also enter into a Medicaid compliant annuity. Now, not all annuities are Medicaid compliant. There are special rules that apply to them. But if you acquire a Medicaid compliant annuity, this allows you to transfer funds outside of your estate in such a fashion that they can be used within the guidelines and you are still eligible for Medicaid. A Medicaid compliant annuity is a single premium immediate annuity that is purchased after February of 2006 and meets all of the requirements of the Deficit Reduction Act. Now, because the income of a Medicaid compliant annuity is not deemed to be countable for purposes of Medicaid, then the income received from this type of an annuity can help you and still allow either a couple or an individual to qualify for Medicaid. Now, the good news is that the purchase of a Medicaid compliant annuity by either the Medicaid applicant or the applicant's spouse is not deemed to be a transfer that results in disqualification. And another piece of good news is that the income from such an annuity is not considered to be a countable resource for purposes of Medicaid. Now, in order to qualify under the Medicaid rules as a Medicaid compliant annuity, the annuity must be non-assignable to someone else, and it must be irrevocable and pay out in equal payments to you with no balloon payments, and it must be actuarially sound, which means that it uses the measuring life expectancy of your life as the measurement stick in order to qualify under Medicaid. Now, the vast majority of the states don't count the income from this type of an annuity as a countable resource. But of course, there's always one or two that might do so, as the rules may change from time to time. So before entering into this type of an annuity, it's definitely good to check with an advisor who knows what they're doing and make sure before you sign anything. Now, the Medicaid compliant annuity might or might not be your cup of tea. It just depends upon your situation. So before moving ahead with it or not, it's good to have an analysis done on your situation and see what applies in your case. If it does work for you, this could be a wonderful way to reduce the resources that Medicaid would count while at the same time enjoying the benefit of the income that would come flowing to you. So take a look at this carefully. I do suggest you have a private consultation, and we'll be glad to send you further information to see if you qualify. I'm attorney Michael Potter, and I look forward to hearing from you.